Welcome to Daily Variety, your daily dose of news and analysis for entertainment industry insiders. It's Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. I'm your host, Cynthia Littleton. I am co-editor-in-chief of Variety alongside Ramin Satuda. I'm in LA, he's in New York, and Variety has reporters around the world covering the business of entertainment. In today's episode, we'll hear highlights from a fascinating conversation that my Variety colleague Matt Donnelly held with top movie and TV marketers last month as part of Variety's Entertainment Marketing Summit. I couldn't resist pulling a few clips to demonstrate how on target they were with trends that we are seeing play out at the box office this spring. And that is followed by a fun highlight clip from Daily Variety's sibling podcast, Award Circuit, which is back in action for Emmy FYC season. Award Circuit is out every Friday, and this clip is a highlight from a 10 Questions With segment that my colleague Michael Schneider did with Colin Hanks and Ryan Reynolds, who of course are collaborators on the new John Candy documentary, John Candy, I Like Me. But before we get to that, here are a few headlines just in this morning that you need to know. The Lost Boys, Schmigadoon, and Ragtime dominated this year's Tony nominations. June Squibb made Tony history as the oldest nominee ever at the age of 96 for her work in the play Marjorie Prime. The trophies will be handed out June 7th at Radio City Music Hall. The trailer for A24's Anthony Bourdain biopic is out and generating some heat. Tony stars Dominic Sessa as the brilliant chef-turned-author-turned-TV host. The movie from filmmaker Matt Johnson is slated for release in August. And finally, our long national nightmare is over. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have settled their bitter legal dispute on the eve of trial. Who could have seen that coming? May these two never cross paths again. All of these stories and so much more can be found on Variety.com right now. And now it's time for conversations with Variety journalists about news and trends in show business. For today's episode, once again, I couldn't resist pulling some clips from the great movie marketers session that was held as part of Variety's Entertainment Marketing Summit on April 22nd. The warming trend that we've seen at the box office in recent weeks was touched on in this conversation, moderated by my colleague Matt Donnelly, Variety's chief correspondent. The first voice you'll hear in this clip is Dwight Caines, head of domestic marketing for Universal Pictures. Caines is followed by Blair Rich of Legendary Entertainment, and then you'll hear from Rebecca Curie of Searchlight Pictures, Josh Goldstein from Paramount Pictures, and then Blair Rich again.
Data suggests that younger moviegoers, right, Gen Alpha and Gen Z, are becoming fans of the theatrical experience, the in-person experience, right? And so they're driving some of that box office steadiness. We just need to make that habit deeper and stronger among them. The movies that we do at Universal are tapping into some of what these younger audiences want. Lots of nostalgia, lots of IP, and lots of fan-driven stories. So I think that has to do with it.
I think added to what Dwight said, I think we have to understand, and there are studies on this right now that are promising, where Gen Z and Gen Alpha are, much more frequent, 7 times a year versus 5 times a year for boomers or 6 times a year for millennials. And I think it's really notable because we're dealing with a generation, it's the swipe before you wipe generation, right? It's the first generation that grew up never being off a screen. And the need for connected social experiences, what the research shows is they're choosing movies as social experiences as opposed to choosing it as something else to do. And that's a notable change in terms of how we have to reach them, what they're going to seek out in these experiences, the types of movies and entertainment we're all kind of part of making now, because it really shows the importance of kind of speaking to an audience where they are. You can't just decide like something's interesting and they will come now. This is this generation is wired completely differently. They like different things. They have their own vocabulary like every generation does. We have to speak to them in completely different ways. we also have to protect this trend that we're seeing. And as they get older and the money becomes needed for other things and the distractions are more, and you have children and you have other things that make what is otherwise a very inconvenient experience in an otherwise very convenient world still worth it. So we can't take it for granted either, I think.
I also think that the Cinema United put out a really interesting report right before CinemaCon, and there's 136 million members of these subscription services, the loyalty programs, the theatrical loyalty programs, AMC, Regal, Cinemark, and all of the others, and they are really great value. You are paying kind of a regular ticket value, but you can go and see something in IMAX, you can go and see something in PLF, and that is keeping the value in terms of a younger person who cannot necessarily afford the upcharge on an IMAX ticket or a Dolby or whatever. We're talking about generations that are used to having apps drive everything in their life and subscriptions drive everything in their lives and sort of living like that. And I do think those theatre loyalty programs are really helping boost this box office, as well as different genres of films like anime doing really well. Just the variety of movies, horror, there's more horror in the marketplace for younger people.
The only comment that I was just going to add to that is that subscription notion also builds habit. And I think that, one of the things that's happened is you have a generation that hasn't had this experience before. And the extraordinary thing, and I think what was so celebrated at CinemaCon, was the power of this theatrical experience, both emotionally, communally. And I think, yes, it does speak to some element of escapism, but I think where they're escaping to, and that sense of community and that sense of sort of emotional engagement, is actually what is also, once they're getting a taste of it, once you're meeting them where they are, once you're giving them great content, but they're also having their actual engagement is really delivering something that is quite special. And I think that's what we as theatrical marketers are really trying to hold on to and to give as a gift to the next sort of generation, to experience what made us love movies so much.
Sure. And also, Blair, you pointed me to a really fascinating NRG study published in August of last year that I think says that Alpha looks to moviegoing as a group experience to a multiplier of up to 12 people going for one movie, whereas Gen X considers a group going to the movies 2 people, which is date night, I guess.
We experienced that with Minecraft to a very large extent. Yeah. We hadn't seen anything quite like that before. It's like a connected social experience, right? It's why marketing is changing. It's why we have to do much more experiential marketing and connect people, whether it's on streaming, which what you're doing, or theatrical. It's like you have to feel these points of connection that are socialized, because this kind of constant disconnection is starting to numb people, and that's why they're seeking something else.
In this clip, Matt Donnelly kicks it off, and he is followed by Searchlight's Rebecca Curie, Paramount's Josh Goldstein, and Universal's Dwight Caines.
Tom Rothman started a lot of conversation, chairman of Sony Pictures and CinemaCon, by sort of some might say lecturing, some might say heavily suggesting to the theater owners that they need to cut the pre-show content that includes almost 25 minutes of advertising, which I know is a huge source of revenue for the theaters, then 20 to 25 minutes of trailers. And his argument was that non-habitual moviegoers are horrified by how much they're being advertised to. And habitual moviegoers don't show up until 2 minutes before the screening might actually start. So they're missing all of your trailers. And I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this too.
I think it's a really fine line, because trailers are still the best way. You're capturing someone in the church they want to be in, right? Watching the movie they want to watch, and they are a habitual moviegoer. Often that's likely. So of course, as distributors, we're going to want to have our trailers in front of movies, and as many trailers as possible. He is right. It's a long pre-show. And now with reserved seating, of course, you don't have to show up until the last minute if you don't want to. I actually love sitting through all the trailers and the ads. That's just me. I like to know what's coming, and I like to see how people
want to see it.
I think what's the question is not the greatness of the trailers in that experience, but rather the need for revenue by selling it to some third party party where, you know what, you're watching HBO and you don't have commercials, and then you go to a movie theater and you do, and you feel that's separated out from the magic of getting a sample of your movie in the format that it's meant to be communicated. I mean, you see, great trailers are still part of that magic, but it's also that it cuts through into culture, and then these same product can kind of have this long life cycle. The reasons we talk about Windows is because we've created something that actually has cultural impact that then has value along the way. And I think it's just about maintaining the value and the specialness of that movie-going experience. We just, listen, the business just has to be robust enough that the theaters can be really not short-term interested in terms of their short-term revenue, but long-term interested in creating this great experience that is.
It's really about keeping the business alive, right? Investing in movie-going, getting people back into theaters so that the revenue derived from the box office can maybe replace some of the revenue that's cluttering up the screen. In the old days, a trailer would occur to you when you sat down in your seat. You didn't know what you were going to see. You didn't click, oh, Mario, right? It would occur. It would reveal itself. And there's something magical about that. So I would agree that we want to retain that magic.
Discovery is the greatest experience in the world. Right? Discovery is like falling in love. It's that just moment of finding something.
Yeah. So how do we do that? Go to the movies, people.
And now here's a fun clip from Daily Variety's sibling podcast, Awards Circuit, hosted by my Variety colleagues Michael Schneider, Clayton Davis, Jazz Tunke, and Emily Longaretta. Awards Circuit is back for Emmy FYC season, so please seek it out and give it a follow. The show comes out on Fridays and is available on all podcast platforms. This clip features Colin Hanks and Ryan Reynolds running through the show's 10 questions format with Michael Schneider.
Variety Awards Circuit podcasts 10 questions with Colin Hanks and Ryan Reynolds.
Childhood nickname?
Casper.
I get called doctor a lot.
Doctor?
Yeah. My friend just says, hey, doctor.
Hey, doctor.
Doctor.
I like it.
Doctor.
What's something that you loved as a kid that now you can't believe you were really into?
Tiger Beat magazine. Once in a while, I'd look at peruse Tiger Beat magazine.
Sort of picking up on that theme, I'm surprised at how obsessed I was with the film The Lost Boys.
Oh, but that's okay.
Classic.
I mean, for the time, it's fine.
Watch
But
that again
if you
now.
rewatch it now, you kind of go like, oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Great soundtrack, though.
Amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Jimmy Barnes.
Oh,
And NXS.
Go-to karaoke song.
Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
Wanted Dead or Alive by John Bon Jovi.
Hard to sing.
Or Bon Jovi.
Yeah. American Pie, by the way, is the karaoke murderer. I never do American Pie.
Your secret talent.
I could do a standing backflip. That's a pretty significant one.
Oh! All right, Colin. That did not go well.
Amazing.
That did not go. I'll answer all of his questions moving forward. I'm not sure he's really going to be.
My vertebrae in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Variety does not have the kind of insurance that I should be allowing that to happen.
I used to be able to stick my arms out, put my hands over each other, push them through my arms, and lift my
think you're doing it now.
over. And
Oh. Again,
stick
we probably
that
shouldn't be asking him to do this.
over the head.
Oh, wow.
Shit. Okay.
Again.
You just gave birth to yourself.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know how hard it is to give birth to yourself?
Well, the audience will never see it
Never
because
know.
we're
Exactly.
He was exiting the womb at the end.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
I would have to say Rocky Road.
mine is a tie between cookies and cream and coffee.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Or put them together.
Coffee ice cream.
By the way,
It's delicious.
coffee, cookies, and cream together?
Ooh.
Strong.
Let's go.
Very strong.
Let's go.
One item you couldn't live without.
Music. Is that an item? I don't know.
A good one?
Yeah.
Can't live without music.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to have to go with music as well.
Good.
I don't mean
I like that.
I
It's a
don't
tie.
mean coffee.
TV show in all of history that you wish you were on.
Cheers.
Oh,
Good answer.
wow. Jeez, this is hard.
Don't say St. Elsewhere. I know you want to say St. Elsewhere. It'll date you.
No, you want to know
Would
what?
have made a great Lacey. Cagney and Lacey.
I would have loved that. I would have loved to be the she in Murder, She Wrote.
Right.
But no, honestly, if I really had to choose something, probably a cast member on SNL.
Outside of a character you've played, fictional character that you in literature or movie or film that you sort of most admire, identify with, would want to hang out with?
Oh, Peter Sellers and Being There For me, I don't know. I that's a movie I keep going back to. And I never know why. I don't think I'm smart enough to understand why I love it so much. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Hal Ashby, just a great movie.
I think it's got to be The Dude.
Yeah.
I think I got to see how The Dude, because I would love to see how The Dude like tackles modern day technology and cell phones.
The gram.
And
Yeah.
and
And then finally, what hot take do you have that people sort of say, well, that's Ryan and Colin's. They've got an interesting perspective on that. What's your hot take?
the thing with the hot takes is I always say, like, everyone else thinks it's a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take because I'm the one saying it. And the one I'm saying is, no one knows. No one knows. They don't know. They have no idea. And it applies to anything.
Yeah. I got one. It's warm. It's not hot, but it's I don't know. It's sexy. The 3 words, I don't know. It's very sexy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it's like I trust people that say I don't know. That's my hot take. I love it when someone says I won't work with someone who's unwilling to say I don't know. Any great leader is like really comfortable with criticism and not knowing what's best all the time.
What I like is that you went like the philosophical, like, I don't know. Like, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I went with a very sort of antagonistic, like, nobody knows.
Do you want
Nobody
to
knows.
do you want to review the answer? Because I had a lot of real shit takes here.
No,
You know,
I think it's a great one.
As we close out today's episode, here's a few things we're watching for. Variety is getting ready for the Cannes Film Festival next week. We will publish 6 print dailies on the Quasset starting May 12th. We'll publish the first of 12 digital dailies with a preview starting May 7th. You can find all of this coverage on Variety.com and our social platforms. You can go to Variety.com and go to email preferences to sign up for our festivals and markets news alerts and newsletters. Here comes Season 2 of Pop Culture Jeopardy! The Amazon Prime Video spin on the classic quiz show, hosted by Colin Jost, is back with fresh episodes on May 11th. We love to hear from our listeners, so please send thoughts, gripes, and other feedback about Daily Variety to podcasts@variety.com. Before we go, congrats to Amanda Kozlowski. She's been promoted to president of worldwide marketing for Lionsgate Motion Picture Group. She's been with the studio for 18 years. She reports to Motion Picture Chairman Adam Fogelson. Thanks for listening. This episode was written and reported by me, Cynthia Littleton, with contributions from Matt Donnelly and Michael Schneider. Stick, snicks, hick, picks. Please leave us a review at the podcast platform of your choice, and please tune in tomorrow for another episode of Daily Variety.